Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Hinches with Beyond the Chart, and this is stock chart analysis. This is an update video on Apache, Valero, US Steel, and again on Facebook. All right, we're going to start off here with Apache, and what you see here on the chart is a couple of years worth of daily trading in here, and you could see the huge head and shoulders pattern that we've talked about before. You know, this shoulder, this huge head, and this shoulder, and then we got the breakout in here, and it's trying to move forward. Now, the thing about this is, in terms of the wave structure, you know, I think we had one, two, thought this might be an ABC, but this was too big of a move to the high side, I believe. So I am counting this as a minor wave 1, 2, and we're looking for 3 up in here. This cannot be 3. I thought it might be 3, and actually this trend channel is not correct. So I'm just going to get rid of it for the moment. Thought this might be 3 up in here, but this then can't be 4 because it's overlapping 1. So anyway, well, we'll continue to watch this, but here's the thing that's interesting right now is, so the way I've got this labeled is I've got this as a minute wave 1, 2, 3, and that we're working a 4, okay, an ABC 4. And so the thing I saw today, which was kind of interesting, you know, I've been looking for for this to end in here, okay, as a stop, and the distance on this thing was like, measure A, go back to the end of B, and around 100%, C would equal A, okay, right around in here. And so I've been looking for this thing to end and start to turn up. Well, today, all of a sudden, I saw this, what looks like what I call turtle soup plus 1 play, okay? And this is that Larry Connors, Linda Ratchke pattern that they talk about, or you know, trading signal, I guess. You get a 20-day low over here that has to be at least 4 days away, and you're getting a new 20-day low, and the previous 20-day low had to be at least 4 days away. Okay, so that fits that parameter. We close down below that 20-day low, the old 20-day low, and then the next day you come and trade back up and trade, and you enter 5 to 10 ticks above the low. So the low is 95.22, so you enter, say, 95.27 to 32. So that's what I did today. You know, got options, and right now got a stop right below this low. Hopefully we'll continue. I would have liked to have seen it close higher and close above that low. We got hit in the last 15 minutes today with some sell programs and knocked the Dow the market was trying to turn. And then in the last 15 minutes, it just got slammed, and everything just ended right on its low for the day. So pretty negative close. So it makes me a little nervous that I'm sitting here with calls, and I'm kind of, but, you know, I got this play, and I've been looking for a little bottom, so I thought, you know, what the heck, I'll roll with it. Got a tight stop, and, you know, hopefully this will do what I think it's going to do. So that's my play on Apache right now. I think Apache's getting ready to be done with an ABC corrective wave, and then I'm looking for it to get these crosshairs sometimes, and they bug you, and I'm ready for this to move up towards this trend line and break this trend line. And a lot of times you make this trend line at the origin of A, the top of B here, and this should be the boundary line of the corrective wave. We break this thing, we should be off to the races for the next impulse wave to the high side. All right, that's my take on Apache. Valero, Valero's got a big head and shoulders top that's been working. We were in this, we had a nice play to the downside, made some good return on the puts. I got out of the puts right around in here because I started to see bullish divergence come in. Still seeing that bullish divergence, hasn't gone away. And this looks like what they call a gravestone doji, although it's not picture perfect because it's not right on the low, but it kind of has that look to it. So we'll see if it turns around in here or not. But again, we're getting bullish divergence coming in where the indicators are not going to new lows along with the price. Now, this trend line I've got drawn in here, this channel, I've just created parallel lines, and with the expectation of that, maybe as a target, it comes right on down here. This is potential support here at 46. This red line is the neckline of the Head and Shoulders. And, you sit back and say, well, okay, if you thought it was a big Head and Shoulders and you expect it to go down and continue further, why'd you get out? Well, because I was sitting with a profit on, we got out a half. I can't remember where we got out a half, and then was right in the second half. And it doesn't take much on these types of rallies, especially on the, to get a move like this and take all your profit away. So, once I've had pretty decent profit, I'd love to be able to ride it. I'll look to see if we can get some kind of snapback, place to go short again, or some kind of consolidation to work off of. But right now, this could be stalling out, and but we've still got this big topping formation in place. All right, now U.S. Steel. This is another one, huge Head and Shoulders bottom, and when it broke out of this huge Head and Shoulders bottom, it did it with huge power. This big gap broke this neckline in here. Now that was back in around end of July, early August, July 30th. And this has continued skyward. I mean, it just is amazing. We had really good return on our calls that we had in this too. We got in the calls right in here and got out a half. Can't remember where in here. Got out of the other half somewhere when it started to close down below. I think it was right here. Would have loved to have been able to ride. I just, couldn't get myself to ride this trend line, and I need to get better at that. I mean, there's always something you can improve on. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. There's always something you can try to improve on, and that's one of the things I'd like to be able to improve on. Now, this was a big blowout gap and a breakaway gap, okay? This may have been, there's like a little gap in here too. I don't know if that's just a common area gap or what. This almost looks like a little bit of a exhaustion gap to a certain degree. You've got the gap on both sides of it. It's almost forming a little island up in here. Now, if this fills within the next day or two, then this definitely was an exhaustion gap if it fills that quickly. Because, if it's really strong and it's a runaway gap, it shouldn't fill. Like you notice how this didn't fill. Okay, so we'll have to watch that. Now, the other thing in terms of the wave count, we are up in that area where I was expecting intermediate wave 3 to be a normal length intermediate, 161.8% of 1, okay, right at 47. So we're right in that area where it wouldn't be at all unusual to see this thing say, okay, time for me to correct. Okay, so that's the scenario here on U.S. Steel. So we'll be watching that. Would love to see if we can get, because I do think that the head is so big on this in terms of the reversal pattern. I think we've got some more to the upside, but I need to see a good some kind of consolidation pattern and to be able to get on this thing to ride it higher again. All right, so that's U.S. Steel, and we'll be back with updates on these again in 2 weeks, unless there's a specific trade idea that develops between now and then, like on Apache we got into today. Now I want to just do a quick update on Facebook. I just talked about Facebook last night, and when I talked about Facebook last night, I was talking about how I thought we were correcting and had this A and a B wave in here, okay? I'm still thinking that may be the case, although I'm really wondering now. And then the thing that's now starting to make me reconsider what's going on is looking at the way this price action developed with these with the RSI. I think that the divergence that developed in here on the RSI simply allowed it to correct back down here like it did here in July, early July. And it was a very quick little correction to the 55-day moving average Then it turns around, you get these closes above the 10, and it sets up again for this impulse move to the upside. And this is almost like what I call an upthrust or a small cup and handle type thing. And this could be exactly what we did here. Now, this kind of width on divergence, I don't like it being that wide. That's not that strong. And it could be nothing more than that. Could have been nothing more than signaling we needed a little correction, and we got that correction. So the thing that I'm watching right now is this pattern looks eerily similar to this pattern right here. And when I saw that today, I said, okay, this is just a little too unusual. When I saw how flat this was in here, the flatness across the top here, getting this little handle in here, getting the same thing in here. This is just a little smaller version of this. But if this, and then all of a sudden, this started to break out. So I am going to go ahead and put this on and describe it as a trade idea to on the web page to talk about what this trade idea is. I did get in with calls late in the day, and it's right up, I can't remember where it was, around 77.90 or something like that. A little higher than I would have liked. But, you know, now we've broken this high. Would have liked to have seen it close above 78.30, but we closed almost, you know, 78.29 here on the chart. I saw another data thing that said 78.30, but we did get as high as 78.63. So in the volume, let's take a look at the volume real quick. Volume's not showing up too good here. Oh, the volume's up nicely right at the 50-day moving average of the volume. 36 million shares traded today. So, you know, that's very nice in terms of the move, the volume that's coming in on this move. So what I'd like to see this do is continue to move higher, just like it did in here. And then who knows where it goes. If, you know, the swing measurement would be here up to there. So, I mean, based on a swing measurement, just like you do down here, this actually exceeded the swing measurement. So anyway, this is looking good right now. We'll see if it continues to hold up, especially with the negative look on the market. So, all right, this has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. If you felt like this video was helpful, please share it on social media. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. You'll be able to get access to the Trade Ideas webpage and get updates on posts and access the free PDF I've got for you. All right, we will be back tomorrow night with market update and look at some Chinese stocks.